Hello, everybody. This is our astrology weather forecast for the 29th of November 2024. We still have light aspects today. Yesterday, we didn't really have a lot of or any major aspects. We have a few things going on today, but mostly involving the moon. First, we do have a semi sextile between Mercury and Venus. And this can make it more difficult to have what we're saying and what we're feeling be totally in tune with each other. There's a subtle conflict when we're dealing with semi-sextiles. It's a minor in conjunction. So, what we are saying, what we're thinking, and what we're feeling and what's going on internally, they may not be totally on the same page. And because we have Venus involved, sometimes we're saying things, or we could be communicating something in such a way because we want to avoid conflict, or we don't want to have something blow up. So we tend to smooth things over by telling people more of what they want to hear. It is in a more minor way, but it is very insidious. So, if this is something that is also playing into a tendency that you already have, be very careful because it's easy to self abandon when we have these subtle inconjunctions coming around. Because if keeping the peace or maintaining harmony is the most important thing, you will lose yourself and people can't love you for who you are. So be careful. This might be an okay influence if we still have a house full of people, and we do just want to keep the peace until we get them out the door. Sometimes this can work in certain situations, um, because keeping the peace or keeping things glossy on the surface, sometimes in certain social situations, that can be an appropriate move. So we also have the moon in Scorpio, continuing through Scorpio, so we seek depth. We have a sextile from the moon to Venus, which takes us into early afternoon, and then we have the moon forming an opposition to Uranus, which is more going to color the later afternoon, the evening, and the night. So the sextile from Scorpio moon to Venus is good. This is something that also helps us to make nice, but not at the expense of what's real. We don't perform significant feats in self abandonment and giving up what's real so we can maintain niceties like we do with the semi-sextile energy from Mercury to Venus. This is enough inclusion of others, the sextile from Moon to Venus. It's enough inclusion of others and ourselves so that we can have a beneficial outcome. However, the moon does come into this opposition to Uranus, which we get every month. Moon opposition to Uranus is a very inconsistent influence. We specialize in emotional inconsistency when we have this opposition coming around, or if it's in our natal chart. We do not take responsibility for the emotional connections that we form. And so we have touch and go, very hot and cold. I'm here, then I'm out, kind of interaction coming in here. It's very counter to what the Scorpio moon seeks, which is depth merging, a soul connection. We tend to keep things on the surface with this opposition when we aren't around. And then when we are around, when we're focused, when we're engaged, we're all there. And so we're coming to a balance between the depth that we're really seeking and maintaining our autonomy. And it doesn't have to be an either or. We can have both at the same time if we can balance our need for enriching, deep, exciting emotional connection and getting to maintain ourselves and getting to have our own life and our own time and our own pursuits. We don't have to err on one side fully or the other because that's where we get the hot and cold. We get the inconsistency, and we can feel that we aren't able to reach others or to maintain the kind of connection, the kind of safety that we're really looking for. So we can have a mini lesson here in emotional abandonment and really look at, is it us that is doing that because we're forming a connection and then pulling our attention away? Or is it us that's on the receiving end of that because we have this encounter, we have some sharing, we have somebody reaching out, we have a bonding, and then they're off on their own or off doing their own thing. So it's a evening where we can really examine emotional responsibility, consistency. And because it's an opposition, we're going to be looking at how something outside of ourselves points out that there is a lack of consistency or care. This can be a upsetting opposition to deal with. We can find that we ourselves have to deal with some upset, or we are the one that is causing somebody else to feel unsafe or upset. Alrighty, that's what I got for you today. Hey, David. David's got a comment. What's with the the crazy energy shift since Halloween? I would say that it's really been since August that we've seen a big shift. We have a major shift in collective consciousness that's gone on last year, is really coming to a peak this year and is continuing into next year. So there's a lot of people that are discovering themselves, that are discovering new ways of thinking, and that are uncovering who they really are. So massive tower moments, internal tower moments within a lot of us as we really blow through our generational trauma and pay our karmic debt so we can come into the new world paradigm clear, focused, and ready to cooperate. All right, I will catch you guys either later today or tomorrow.